Whether it be the critical drinker or the quartering, oftentimes conservatives, especially those that love to rage about the woke SJW culture destroying really all entertainment, really don't know anything about what they're talking about. Hey everyone, my name's Christian Verstappen, and I have a lot to say about many things. I want to talk about one of my favorite anti-SJW comic reviewer type of people called Yellow Flash 2. I can only imagine there was a Yellow Flash 1 at some point. And I will say, this is a person who I used to actually follow. I used to be a bit into the anti-SJW stuff. I followed him and No Bullshit and a couple other people like that. But I never got super into the anti-SJW stuff. However, he has made a video titled Step Aside, She-Hulk. Marvel introduces Disabled Spider-Man. His arch nemesis is a staircase. So we're already being very tasteful with this wonderful thumbnail here. Got nothing to do with She-Hulk, by the way. It's just that, the outrage of She-Hulk was popular at the time, so of course they had to capitalize on that. So we're going to take a look at this video, and I'm going to explain very specifically how this person doesn't know what they're talking about. Let's get into it. Credit, as always, good effects, good little intro. I like that it's only a couple seconds. Take note, people that make like 15-minute long intros.
Marvel stuff to talk about. Some Spider-Man stuff, some She-Hulk stuff, and some Fantastic Four stuff. This is a comic book that's dropping probably in September, I would guess, or maybe it's out this week. I don't know. Fantastic Four issue 46 preview. Reed Richards finally meets his match. And no, it's not Doctor Doom. It's his half-sister. This woman right here fathered another child with a different woman. And she's, of course, smarter than Reed Richard. And she's...
Yeah, that sounds like something you would expect for somebody that's supposed to be an adversary. Vegeta's stronger than Goku. Shadow's faster and more powerful than Sonic. Venom's stronger than Spider-Man. Yellow Lantern stronger than... I mean, do I need to go on? Like, you get it. That's the point of these kind of characters.
She's also extremely unlikable. So she's doing research because, of course, she's a college professor for something with the ocean, and she's trying to do something with fish. I don't know. Don't
You mean she's a marine biologist?
care. Reed Richards shows up and, of course, has to start kissing her ass immediately.
Or could be an oceanographer. There's many different things, right?
Professor Joanna Jeffers, world-renowned eco-warrior and marine biologist.
I was right, marine biologist.
Huge fan, and I'm Reed Richards. I think it's time we met. I'm the son of Nathaniel Richards and leader of the Fantastic Four. She says, but there's more to it than that. You see, I'm my half-brother. I was wondering when you'd show up. She's like rude to him immediately. First time they ever met. And she's immediately rude to him.
How was that rude? How... She's greeting him. I was wondering, when you show up, I was wondering when I'd see you. How is that rude? Also, where... I'm going to try... Oh, wait, can I zoom in? Hang on a minute. Can I find... Here, wait a minute. Let me see if I can find this actual link that he's... What's the actual article he's bitching about? Fantastic Four number 46 preview. I don't know what website this is from, but give me a minute. Would it be this? Probably. No, that's not it. How about this one? Oh, this is it. Allow bleeding cool to send web. No. No. Okay. So I want to get a better look at this comic here. Okay. So let's read this panel here. We have, or at least skim it. You can, read it if you want. I just want to make sure we get the full. All right, yeah, we're going to read it. Make sure we get the full context here, right? We live in a world where one night, we have, the North Atlantic. We live in a world where one night there's a moon in the sky and the next it's gone. Not hidden behind clouds, torn from the heavens. And a few nights later, it's back. Now, half the people out there are celebrating, and the other half are treating it like it never even happened. But not us. Oh, this is her talking. I'm not going to try to do her voice. I don't know. And why is that? Because we don't know that actions have consequences, Professor. Ripple effects, sorry. Exactly. 4 straight days without tides, and now they're ruined. God only knows what damage that's done. Well, let's see what us mere mortals can do first, Jimmy. Okay, anyway, you get the idea, right? So they're going through, they're doing some sciencey stuff. All right, so let's see the actual comic that he seems to take an issue with, right? Reed shows up. I'm a huge fan, which would make sense for his type of character. If I full screen this, well, okay, cool, it still works. Nice. Good. Okay, Reed Richards, huge fan. I think it's time we meet the son of Nathaniel Richards and leader of the Fantastic Four. But there's more to it than I see. I'm my half-brother. I was wondering when you'd show up. I only learned that recently. If you have some time, I was hoping we could go somewhere and talk. I can give you 4 hours. With the chop your spaceship caused, it'll take that long for the sea life around here to settle. Oh, because, right. The chop in the water. Okay, so this isn't her being rude. I mean, okay, you could look at this as her character being rude, but this is literally just a typical, how do I phrase this? This is that typical smart person, oh, I'm going to cut you off in the middle of your sentences because I already know what you're going to say because I'm so smart. This wouldn't be any different if a man was doing it. My assumption would be that Yellow Flash's issue here is that this is a woman doing it, and especially a black woman, but I don't know. I'm going to try to give him the most charitability that I can.
Never met. And she's immediately rude to him and like just very unlikable. And it's of course implied. Like this is the standard for any time they introduce someone like this.
You mean that smart character that's supposed to obviously be some kind of competition for another character that is also smart? Yes. Again, like this is how these characters work, even if they're not villains. And I don't know for a fact if this character is going to be a villain or what have you, but anytime you have a type of rival character, that's how it works. Like, what do you want? Yeah, of course, that's how it's going to be. What do you want? What is your issue here?
It's like the template for
Also, keep in mind this is a preview. We don't even. This isn't even the full. This is like two comics, 2 pages. I'm sorry.
POC character, especially always super smart, have some kind of big authority position somewhere. Like in this case, she's a world-renowned.
You'll notice this has nothing to do with the thumbnail or title, by the way.
Professor and marine biologist and an eco warrior, and they always have the same personality. It's always like they don't know how to make them. They think this is likable.
No, they don't. They intentionally. Okay, again, we don't really know because we literally see her for 2 panels, 1 page. Okay, I'm sorry. 2 pages, multiple panels, whatever. But we see her interaction with Reed in 2 panels, and she seemed like she was being cool to her colleagues. Let's go back to what he didn't show. Here it is. We'll get to those other tabs in a minute here. Okay, so exactly 4 straight days without tides, yada yada yada. Well, let's see what us mere mortals can do. It starts with the plankton, tiny drifters, yada yada yada. I take it back, that's bad. No, that's unnatural. Corey, when did we cut our engines? 4.5 hours ago, yada, yada, yada. What's causing all that chop? Proof, you are not going to believe this. Look. Oh, Professor, you are not going to believe this. Yeah. She's not being rude to any of her people that she's working with. She's not really being rude to Reed. She's just cutting him off, and she's saying, like, yeah, I know who you are. I know we're related. I can give you time to talk, but I can only give you 4 hours. Like, it's not necessarily rude. It's not really anything, to be honest.
It's not that they don't know how they think people like this. Oh, here's this woman's first appearance, and she's immediately rude to Mr. Fantastic. She's better than him, don't you know?
She might be. Maybe they are setting her up to be a rival. I don't know.
Like, he's like trying to be nice and show her something, and she's being like rude and just nasty to him the entire time. Not gonna work, but it's just funny. Reed Richards, no longer the smartest person on earth. No, it's his half sister, world-renowned marine biologist. And it doesn't get any better over in the Spider-Man.
Wait, hold up a minute. I know for a fact Oh, okay, never mind. 10 smartest people in the Marvel Universe ranked number 1 is Reed Richards. Okay, I take it back. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that there are people officially acknowledged as the smartest man in the Marvel Universe. Okay. But all right, cool. So we have people that challenge his brains. Again, maybe she's being set up to be a rival character. We don't know. We literally have 2 pages. Chill.
Man front.
This is where we get to what I wanted to talk about. And I haven't even seen this yet properly.
I have more information on the paralyzed Spider-Man. I'm gonna do a review on this comic when it comes out because it's gonna be pure shit.
I love how he just thinks he already knows that.
Is something that a few people have been talking about. It's from Edge of Spider-Verse number 4. And Spider-Man in this one is, I'm assuming, a LBGT cerebral palsy survivor or something, because she's got the rainbow flag and a wheelchair. And then when she becomes
I think she's cute, by the way.
Spider Person, I'm not sure. We're just going to say Spider Person. The wheelchair is webbed to...
Or they. More than likely this is a she, but, I'm aware it could be non-binary. I don't know.
her back.
I feel like they're probably going for more of a lesbian angle or something, but, it's possible, obviously.
And then she has crutches which shoot out the webbing. How does she change her costume? Does she just plop onto the ground and then like change it in the alleyway? I'm not really sure how this works.
Okay, all right, just right there. You realize people who are paralyzed, who live their life in a wheelchair, are able to dress themselves, right? Like, seriously? Okay, look, so here's the first issue with this. One of the most popular superheroes in general, and especially in Marvel, we'll get to this character in a minute, is Daredevil, who is a blind man. Nobody says, this guy wouldn't say, oh, how does Daredevil change? Does he, I don't know, fumble while cause, get his costume on wrong because he can't see what he's doing? Ha ha ha. But for this character, they're going to make stupid paraplegic jokes. Wonderful.
This is just cringy. Really cringy. No one is going to read this and take this seriously. It's just more reasons why you see Comicsgate and Eric July make millions of dollars, because nobody is reading this, whatever this is.
Wait, what? Comicsgate Eric July? What is that? Eric July, comicsgate.org. What is this? Oh no. Eric July on the future of comics, the Rippaverse, and more. Oh god. Is this a conservative? Oh boy. Alright, let's check out what this is. Oh Jesus Christ! Never mind. This is an hour and 12. Fuck that. What is this shit? Alright, we're just gonna, I guess, browse this a little bit. Hang on. So, what he's just talking about. Alright, I'll tell you what. If you guys want me, and I will add this to my videos to cover playlist, just in case. If you guys want me to go over this video and who this Eric July guy is, I will happily do so. Well, maybe not happily, but I will do so and see what this is all about. But I really don't see a need to otherwise.
And then when you look to the movies, it doesn't get any better. She-Hulk continuing to drop as the days
Not a movie, TV series, but go off.
go forward. I'm surprised some D-Rider critic hasn't ran in here and got this up to 90 because it's rapidly falling 82%, quickly becoming 70%. I don't think it'll reach 70%. There's just no way.
Let's see what it currently has. It's funny he said that, considering now tomato meter is at 85%. Okay, cool. And the audience score's at 33. Audience score plummeted. Average tomatoer, though, not bad. I do wonder what how the audience score is. Why is it so low? Oh my god. Fine. Oh, yeah, I know how this works. I literally just did. I said for this entire website. Oh, refresh, okay. Great. Horrible was horrible. So far, the worst thing the MCU has done. That fourth wall breaking thing was cringe as fuck. Many people say that in comics is like that. That I can imagine how bad comics were. Okay, this is my entire point. These fucking people don't even know the source material. They don't. They complain about this shit and they're like, oh, this is so cringe, this is so... You don't even know what the fucking comics are like. You don't. I had a friend the other day who was complaining to me about how, oh, I don't like how they replaced Black Panther with Reeve? Fuck, what's her name? Reeve or whatever her name is. Fuck, what's her name? Here. Whoops. Shuri. Yeah. When I had to point out she assumed the mantle of Black Panther in the comics as well. See? Here, like, right here. Oh, costed her the title of Black Panther. Okay. Claws of the Panther. Yep. We'll get to this with another example, but this oh wait, where did the... Oh, did I... Whoops, my bad. We gotta get back. This is how... Like, people see these changes happening in the adaptations of the comics and stuff, and they say, "Oh, I don't like that." It's like that's how it was in the comics. That is how it was. That's how it is. I'll bet there's going to be people, if they ever do an adaptation, a proper one with Tim Drake Robin, they're going to say, "Oh, I don't like they made him gay. He's gay in the comics." There's actually a really good issue where the entire thing is him just discussing with Oracle Barbara after she was, shot and paralyzed by. By the way, another character who was paralyzed and is still a total badass even as they're paralyzed. I'll give you another example from a completely different medium of a character who is paralyzed and is a total badass. Bentley from Sly motherfucking Cooper. This man was paralyzed at the end of Sly 2, the second game, Sly Cooper Band of Thieves, and does that keep him lying down or anything? No. He makes a badass wheelchair with rockets and fucking jet hover boosters, and he's more confident and everything than ever, and it's just fucking great. This kind of shit has been happening for a long while, and this is a good thing. It is good to have characters like this. Oh, and real quick, let's get into here we go. Let's get into what the Spider-Verse actually is. So the Spider-Verse is something that has existed since... Oh, here we go. Story arc. Fantastic. Story where all Spider-Men in the Marvel multiverse fight Morlun. Great, cool. So, here's the thing. Comic books have multiple volumes oftentimes. This is why you'll see a comic with the same name with different... with the number 1 at the beginning. So let's look at the volumes of Spider-Verse. So in the first Spider-Verse, we get the introduction of a bunch of different Spider-Man characters, including characters like Penelope Parker. In the second one, we even get the introduction of characters like Gwen, and Spider-Man Noir makes an appearance, who came from his own thing. And in the 2015 arc, we get... I'm not sure who. Oh, looks like Miles joined the fray, which is cool. Spider-Woman is included in this. In the newest arc, we've been getting all sorts of new characters who didn't even exist in the series before, like... Night Spider, who is Black Cat if she had spider powers. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And the entire concept of the Spider-Verse is making characters like this. And it's just a fun, cool thing to do. I like it. I like seeing these new versions of Spider-Man come about. Though I will say, I am currently reading through all the Spider-Man comics and a bunch of comics in general chronologically, so it'll be a long-ass time before I actually get to these issues. But I understand their purpose regardless and what they're about.
68% audience score. And how could that be? I mean, it's supposed to be a Marvel product. It's so the conversation about how women have to control our anger or fear when we get catcalled or fouled so we don't get assaulted or murdered. And men are calling it woke. Y'all need at least one day as a woman. No.
Honestly, look, I think if people could experience the other gender, as it were, I think that might help a lot of people understand things. just to see the world from the other side, as it were, their point of view for at least a day, a week. I think a month would be best. But yeah, let's talk about She-Hulk for a minute. And this wasn't even supposed to be about She-Hulk, but here we go. I am not the biggest fan of the direction that they took with the Disney Plus series She-Hulk. She-Hulk is generally a very fun, confident, outgoing, flirty character. She isn't quite that way, though she's not entirely opposite of that. She's not quite that way in the Disney Plus series. She's not terrible by any means, but she's definitely not the She-Hulk that I would recognize, generally speaking. Now, as the series goes on, she does definitely start to encapsulate more and more of those ideas. And even the ending actually makes a lot of sense because, yes, she does break the fourth wall a lot in her comics. I actually really liked the ending of She-Hulk. I thought it was really good, really creative, really interesting. I, yeah, I actually really liked it. Again, I don't love it. She-Hulk isn't my favorite superhero or my favorite um, Disney Plus series or anything like that. I thought it was a lot better than Miss Marvel, but my issue with the Miss Marvel was it was a constant tease. She didn't even get her costume until the end, and yeah, it was, I had issues with Miss Marvel. I really wanted to see her as the awesome superhero that she is, but so much of that was just not happening. Um, but it definitely wasn't an awful show, She-Hulk. But a lot of people have turned to critiquing it, and especially saying about how woke it is and how anti-man it is and all these different things, because it's what gets them the clicks and the views, and people are outraged about it and all this stupid shit. And I get it. I fell for it to an extent as well. I wasn't a big fan of Marvel Avengers Endgame. A lot of people loved it. I didn't. But I didn't dislike it because of the wokeness that it apparently inserted in it. I didn't like it because of, well, plot reasons, like how they say they're not going to do time travel like Back to the Future, my favorite movie, and yet they do time travel exactly like it works in Back to the Future. I had an issue with that. And I had an issue with some of the other things throughout, but for the most part, it was a good movie. I definitely preferred Infinity War more than Endgame, but that's me. But people like Yellow Flash here have to just continue this
Oh,
outrage bullshit over stuff that, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really matter, but it gets people who are interested in this stuff and who are so triggered um, to click on it. And that's what this is about, of course. I mean, look, at the end of the day, especially if you're doing this as a job or anything, you want to get the clicks, you want to get the retention, all that good stuff. But there were a few things that were kind of heavy-handed with within She-Hulk, but even the speech that she made in the first episode that people were like, "Oh, that's blah blah blah," I actually really liked it. Like I thought it was good because it wasn't shoving this thing like, "Oh, I'm a woman, I'm better than you." It was just I've lived a different experience than you. I know what it's like to experience these different things that you don't. Now, she didn't go through the same type of trauma that, say, Bruce Banner did, but she had her own experiences, and everybody does. So, overall, though, I definitely did think, and still do think, that it was a good show.
they're calling it woke for a lot of reasons. Uh, this is the funniest. Look how they're IMD. Say it louder for the people in the back. This is the cat calling scene. This is funny too.
Yeah, catcalling is cringe. Don't fucking do it.
Like as soon as so this is like 2 seconds into the show.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this on her counter. Of course, badass woman book. the great book of badass woman. And then she's got Ruth Gator Ginsburg with a crown on the back, some other woman back there. Like this.
All right, so I can argue that, yeah, this is uh this is kind of cringe. Does that make it bad? No. Does it make sense for her character? Yes, because in a lot of ways she's being a kind of cringe but still valid boss or girl boss type of character, especially in the beginning.
This is such cringe, man. And this is why so many people are just tuning out. It's just funny to me. It's getting roasted so hard online, and I think that it's hilarious.
Wait, what is
Funny to me.
Oh, here's Tim Pool with a wonderful take. Like 5 minutes before this, she literally hulks out and attacks three guys who were saying things like, "What's up?" No, they were not being friendly. Oh my fucking god. The whole point is they were trying to make advances on her that she was not wanting. So she hulked out to defend herself. That was the point of the scene. If what you took away from that was, oh, they were just being. No, they weren't being friendly. They were pestering her. What the fuck? Oh god. She was visibly uncomfortable in the scene. Look at this face! She's not angry, she's frightened. Holy shit.
Getting roasted so hard online, and I think that it's hilarious because it should. It's an awful show.
Okay, that's what I wanted to see. What is this
online
meme? Try to kill myself, witness mass genocide. Oh, yeah, okay. So this is Hulk, this is Bruce, and then we have I control my anger infinitely more than you because sometimes I'm inconvenient. Oh my god. Missing the fucking point entirely. This is wild. This is actually wild to me. Let me try to explain this. I mentioned before that I wasn't the biggest fan of the direction they went with the She-Hulk. I don't really like the tone they took with She-Hulk. They were a lot more kind of lighthearted and didn't really delve into actual issues aside from a lamp shading. Bruce has been through a lot of traumatic shit from the time he was a child to being an adult. What Jennifer's point in that she can control her anger because she's better at it is that a lot of women do keep in their anger more than men do. A lot of women keep in their anger and things that they're struggling with so as not to come off as bitchy or rude or any of the. I mean, look at it. In the beginning of this, you literally had this yellow flash guy talking about that woman who is potentially smarter than Reed Richards, saying he was rude because she was rude because she interrupted him mid-sentence in a way that a lot of people would do. Hi, I'm Reed Richards. Yeah, of course I know who you are. You're like you're the leader of the Fantastic Four. You're like the most famous dude. Yeah, but there's more than that. I'm also, you're my half sibling. Okay, cool. Great. Nothing rude about that necessarily, but because it's a woman doing this yellow flash guy is saying how rude she is, and same thing with all this She-Hulk stuff, and it's just.
And I think that it's hilarious because it should.
The scene where Jen explains how she's able to control her anger was easily my favorite moment of the episode. As a man, it's something I didn't think about. Also makes me appreciate how the show was written and directed by women. To which Jesse Kelly responds, save some chicks for the rest of us. So he thinks it's just white knighting. I don't think this is white knighting. It could be. I think the guy's being legit. Matt Ramos. I don't know. Yeah. Kind of agreeing with what I just said.
It's an awful show, and maybe people will finally start figuring out.
I wonder if he's going to get back to... Okay, no, he's just using the rest of this to bitch about She-Hulk. Okay, I wanted to talk about this part here with the paraplegic Spider-Man. Regardless of the Spider-Verse, we have a superhero already in the Marvel Universe similar to this, and her name is Silhouette. Silhouette is a Marvel character who first appeared... No. Silhouette is a character who, if you can't tell, is on crutches. I don't really do it that way. I'll do it this way. Is on crutches. And Silhouette... Oh, wow, this is really small. Silhouette fights with her crutches. Or, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if these are called crutches. Whatever they're called. And she's a badass. Because her disability doesn't stop her from being a superhero. Do you know how powerful and important of a message that is to people? I don't care if they're male, female, black, gay, straight, whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. Who among you have not dealt with some kind of issue that felt debilitating? That you could look at a character like that and find hope and inspiration. The point of superheroes is to inspire and encourage people to be the best that they can be. Absolutely, it is good to have characters with disabilities. And as far as this guy complaining about She-Hulk, fuck off. And look, all of these comments, these jeering remarks you want to... And look, all of these comments, all of these jeering remarks that you can make about disabled superheroes or anything like that, any of this woke stuff, you could say the same thing about sidekicks like Robin. Oh, they're trying to appeal to the kids, which yes, they were. They put a kid with Batman to appeal to kids reading comics. Spider-Man, oh, they're trying to appeal to the younger demographic. They're being so woke. Yes, they were. They were trying to appeal to the younger demographic. X-Men, oh, it's an allegory for gay people. Yes, yes, yes. You're right. To an extent, yes, you're right. There is an agenda. There is a purpose for putting characters and giving positive representation. But that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. And it's nothing new. I am so sick of these fucking idiots that do not know what they're talking about, acting like this stuff is some brand new thing by the woke media, the woke mob, the whatever. None of this is new. Comics and media are naturally and have always been progressive. Because life, society, culture, people are progressive in nature. You evolve with the times or you get left behind. And people like this, people that get mad about shit like this, are the ones that absolutely get left behind. I love how he took this entire video and had to use it to shit on She-Hulk and all this stuff. Or we get stuff from the Daily Beast. What a reliable, wonderful source that is. She-Hulk can't quite meet its summons. You know what? Fine, we'll go through the rest of his video.
Look at how bad it's been over the past year. Think of how worse it's going to be in 2 more years after about 30 other products have come out. This is the kind of quality we're getting. It's going to get a lot worse. Think of how bad the comics are going to get. In fact, this, for some reason, it's getting attacked. Apparently, it's Marvel's most offensive trash, according to the Daily Beast. The Daily
Dude, I don't care about your ad. Get over my ad block. Okay, I'll give him that. Daily Beast is pretty left leaning. I highly recommend this website, by the way. Media bias slash fact check. You can just search media bias fact check. You can search different websites, newspaper things, whatever those are called. Publishers, that's what I'm looking for. Anything, and see where it leans politically, generally speaking. So yeah, that's why he's pointing out that the Daily Beast even had an issue with it. Okay, fair point.
Daily Beast is calling it this. They're even
Oh, I was thinking Daily Wire. My bad. Daily Wire is trash.
calling it cringeworthy. But this cringeworthy series is a Hulk smash on the skip button. This is from the Daily Beast. There's more from Polygon. She-Hulk can't quite meet its feminist ideals yet. The Disney Plus.
By the way, guys, this was after the first episode. Originally, when did She-Hulk first release? August 18th. This is a day after the first. We can get rid of this now. This is a day after the first, and I'm not going through all these articles. I don't care. But this was a day after the first episode. And yeah, there were no, honestly, no. I did like even the first episode. I thought it was a good setup to the character. I can understand how her speech could have been viewed as cringe. I don't really care. I thought it was good and fit her character.
Plus series is about body image issues, but it's got some of its own. So it's not feminist enough. And it's too cringeworthy for outlets that, well, to be honest, Disney Marvel's trying to please. I mean, why do you think she saves Bruce Banner and it's not the original comic book origin where he saves her with a blood transfusion? That's because they want the show to be feminist as hell and they want to please the Daily Beast. They end up pleasing nobody because this show is awful, like the comic books. Well, not the old comic books, the new comic books.
So I recently started reading the She-Hulk comic book, and there's going to be a cut here because I'm actually going to go scan through the first comic again real quick, and I can't show that on YouTube, so give me just a moment here. Okay, so in the comics, yes, Bruce does save her. She gets shot by these people that she's investigating as a lawyer, and he does. He saves her with a blood transfusion. Great, good, cool. Okay.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell.
I mean, there are always artistic liberties taken with these kind of things. It's just the way it is. There have been multiple variations on how Uncle Ben from, in Spider-Man was killed. Hell, in the No Way Home series, trilogy, whatever you want to call it, they don't even show him getting killed at all. They don't even mention it. Well, they mention it finally in No Way Home. I have issues with that series, but that's, again, a whole other thing. Yeah, artistic liberties, though, are taken with adaptations all the time. Again, this is nothing new. And these people do not know what they're talking about when they're going to complain about something like this character when we've already had characters like this. God, that's small. Characters like this for decades. When was her first appearance? When was Silhouette's first appearance? Let me find out. New Warriors #2, which was in what year? 1990, August 1st of 1990. Guys, come on. These people love getting so up in arms and defensive and butthurt about this shit. Like it's something new, like it's part of this woke agenda, all these different things. If the agenda that you want to talk about is about representation and positive inclusivity and all that good stuff, then yes, that is intentional. But that's not a bad thing, and it's not anything new. If you're against these ideas when it comes to comics, you're against the comics in general. Again, a teenager being a superhero like Spider-Man in the 60s was so new and revolutionary at the time. People would have absolutely, and maybe some people might have even called it woke and said, oh, he can't be a superhero. Oh, they're just trying to pander to the teens. No. Superheroes are about encouraging and inspiring people to be the best that they can be. Of course, that should include people of all walks of life. People should be able to be inspired no matter what they're dealing with to be the best that they can be. That's the whole point of superheroes. And so many of these people that just want to complain and bitch about this shit have completely missed the point. They just don't get it. They're not even familiar with the source material that they're critiquing. They're just bitching to bitch. They're just complaining to complain because they know it'll get clicks, it'll get views, it'll get all this stuff. But there's no substance. None whatsoever. Anyway, as always, those are my thoughts. Let me know what yours are in the comments down below. Follow me on social media for more. Subscribe and that was awful. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what yours are in the comments down below. Follow me on social media for more. I keep fucking that up. Whatever. Subscribe and ring the bell to stay up to date. Leave a like if you like. No, I'm going to do the whole thing. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what yours are in the comments down below. Follow me on social media for more. Subscribe and ring the bell to stay up to date. Leave a like if you like. And if not, I hope you find something to do like. Later, guys. Peace and love.